Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another new episode of the Forgotten Podcast. Today I'm your intro host, Catman Joe, joined by the other co-host, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Curious Hippo 123.
Hello.
Could have said greetings at that time, but okay,
oh
he's going to
wow,
change it for
now
me.
you want to use the old tapes.
Nah, it's fine. Whatever. Okay, let's continue. For episode 14, we are reunited with a long-time friend, a man who for this podcast should need no introduction. He's an aspiring content creator with just under 1,500 subscribers and over 160,000+ views. He's been making content on YouTube since January 21st, 2018, and since the very beginning stayed humble, honest, and kind. Please welcome after 10 episodes, the unforgettable man himself, Mr SepticSpud.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, yo, we got it in one take.
What's going on?
We've tried this take about 3 times. We tried this like
first try.
Let's all stick to that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we've got SepticSpud on the actual podcast. Of course, if you guys don't know who Septic is, he was the actual original co-host, one of the 3. Obviously, there was all 3 of us back in the day. Episodes 1 to 4, if you go watch them, you can obviously go give them a listen or a watch, and you can see we had a great thing. It was pretty cool back in the day, and obviously some things change. We're going to speak about all that, but we've got some questions for Brad to begin with, and we're going to get into all that later on. All right. So I guess the first question, just to kind of just chill and just kind of enter in there, is how have you been doing, man? Like recently in general.
I've been pretty good, just living life, you know.
As opposed to not living life?
Yeah, I've been dead, you know.
Or recording it on your head.
No, I've been living. I've been just doing me, working, YouTube, just doing the things.
And people call me a hippie.
Yeah, I was just doing the things. Nah, man, but like you've been working all the time, haven't you? You've been working like 24/7. It seems like always just up and down and doing stuff.
Yeah, I've my schedule has been changed. I got promoted at work to a supervisor, and the hours are just crazy. Like Mondays, Tuesdays, I open at like 5:45 in the morning. Wednesdays I close. Thursdays I can be off. It just all depends, and it's crazy hours, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, fucking fair enough, man. I mean, we're glad that we even got you on the extra podcast, because we actually tried recording this for anybody watching right now. Today's Thursday for us, like all of us, Thursday, November 19th, but we actually tried recording this on Wednesday yesterday, but we're just mad time zones, because Brad, you're 8 hours, it is 8 hours behind us.
8 hours,
so
yeah.
Like it's a weird time zone thing for all of us. We've always had that kind of thing where it's like, it is weird to think that you're 8 hours behind. Like, what time is it for you right now, in fact?
It is, if I can find my phone, hold on, 10:23 a.m.
Well, there you go, and it's currently around 6:23 p.m. for me and Joseph, so it's like,
the superior
it just shows
time.
You. Yeah, with the superior time. But it is quite mad, honestly, bro. Like, it's pretty sick, actually, but it's quite mad, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alright, fair plays. Alright, Joseph, you can continue.
Cheers for the segue. But let's get on to our first question. So, recently, content on our channel has been rather up and down. Why is that? Have you been working behind the scenes on new, bigger projects, perhaps, or experiencing burnout, or anything else that's happening behind the scenes?
There's just been a lot of things going on in life. Like back in September, my entire family moved out of California and moved to Arkansas, and so that's been a big toll on my my mental state.
Yeah.
And just work in general. Like when I got back from Arkansas from moving them over there, I got promoted, and it's just been work. So it's not really creator burnout. It's just more of like, I don't have the time, and I'm always thinking about other stuff and doing other stuff. But I put as much time as I can into YouTube and creating content and all that. I do have some stuff behind the scenes that I'm working on. I haven't fine-tuned anything, but I'm working on it.
Oh, very nice. Well, I'm intrigued to hear about that and know some more. Yeah, it's exciting. But no, man, I mean, I think everybody understands entirely. You know, it's like priorities. You know, it's like if you're in school, everybody's doing work, like college work or school work, and you know, people. I mean, we're also in the midst of a pandemic. That's something I feel like everybody it's kind of almost become the norm at this point. But like, we still are. You know, so it's kind of that's still affected everybody to some degree, I'd say. But no, man, like, because it has been like a little bit up and down, to be honest. Like, I've been like wondering, you know, because you were at one point, you were uploading out to like 3-4 times a week, maybe more, were you not? Like,
yeah,
it's quite very consistent with it. Like, now it's like once or twice.
That was when everything, like, I'm not gonna say it was good in life. It was just I didn't have so much stuff going on in life. Like, my family was here. I had like a really set schedule at work. And I was able to keep like kind of a schedule, but now it's just like it's just one thing after another that's just been keeping me busy. Like, also, I got a new truck. Oh. And I've been having to work on that. Like, my water pump just went out, so I had to work on that. I spent, like, it was actually more than the water pump. I had to, like,
attaching a spoiler, some lights on the bottom, GTA that shit up.
Get all pimped up.
Unfortunately, I'm not that rich, so.
Not that rich.
Yet. Put the comment, yet.
I love
yet is a
AdSense.
comment, yet. We gotta have hope, people. We gotta have hope.
Yeah.
So this is me going on to the next one here, right? So something that we all have in common is, and this is something that's pretty cool. Joseph's became a little bit more like he's kind of just getting into this place, but like me and you, Brad, we've been into it for quite a while. It's live streaming. We've all been doing this for quite a while, obviously, or at least me and you, Brad. It's easily one of the funniest ways and one of the best ways to connect and relax with your community. What has been your probably favorite moment from streaming yourself?
My favorite moment. My favorite moment has to be it's a while ago when I first kind of started getting into streaming. I was actually playing on Bedrock on computer with some friends on a realm, and I was doing a stream, and I think it was around like 450, 500 subscribers. Mm-hmm. My community begged me to get a face cam, and so. And I got a face cam, and that live stream, it blew up. It was crazy. It was and it was like a 6-hour live stream. Face reveal. I was like, like, I think 1,500 views on it or something like that.
Fucking really? Oh, man, I honestly.
Well, not like during the stream, but like since I
overall,
made that video.
Yeah, overall.
Yeah. So.
That's
crazy,
incredible,
especially
man.
being
That's incredible.
that small.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's 500 as well. Like that's 3 times as many of your subs. But that's incredible. Like legit. I mean, I think streaming's a really great thing to do. I think everybody here can agree. Like, you know, Joseph again is kind of more just kind of started getting into it, and I've been doing it for obviously
after
the past
this
2 years.
I'll be live.
Well, there you go. Yeah, exactly. And like Brad, you've been doing it for what? It's been about 2 years now, or a year, at least a year and a half, I'd say, on Twitch and YouTube.
Just about. Yeah, I'm about to hit my 3-year mark on YouTube in January. So
21st, that's right. That's incredible, man. You know what I'm saying, dude? So it's a big milestone on its own.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, streaming I think is such a massive part of getting to know your audience as well. Like, I've started streaming every Thursday, so usually my schedule at the moment is spend around 2 hours trying to do a podcast, Joe running off for half an hour, and then waiting for him to come back, doing another 2 hours of the podcast, and then streaming for 1 to 3 hours, and then editing the podcast till 7 a.m. So fun stuff.
Great schedules.
It's going fantastic.
Great schedules.
A little question I put into the script, which I actually really like the idea of, because it means a lot to the person saying it, I think, and it makes you really think about how you feel about your channel currently. But my question to you is, in 3 words, how would you currently describe your channel?
Stagnant.
That's one.
I was gonna say that's one. I was gonna say it.
In 3 words.
Correct. 3, yeah. I mean, you can do less if you can only think of like a 1 or 2, but like 100%, just feel free.
Just stagnant. But like with a hyphen in between the 3 letters.
Wait, so stagnant, slow.
And, well, fun, per se. I'm having fun doing what like I have doing. Like, I have my own like hardcore series going on. It's almost it's gonna hit a year next month.
Jesus, man, congratulations.
Yeah, I know, thanks. And I've just been doing that, but it's not something that like the entire YouTube community wants to watch and all that, so it's not.
I mean, every category has people that want to watch it. It's just about hitting the right spots.
Yeah.
I think yes, that's it. Sorry, Con.
And with everything going on in my life and all that, that's why I said like stagnant and slow, because it's just like I haven't been able to do much, and what I have been able to do, I've been trying to live stream it. Yeah. But yeah, I've been like working on it off camera, making like recording some clips, but it's taking like a long time.
Have you been like prioritizing streaming then over video creation?
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm actually wanting to do, is for the future focus more on live streaming on my channel.
Have you considered starting up Twitch, or have you already done that then?
Oh, Brad, sorry, Twitch.
Yeah,
I did that. I started that. I've already become an affiliate and all that, but I decided to focus more on YouTube and grow my YouTube community, and then after it gets bigger, then moving over to Twitch for the live streaming.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have the same mentality with that, actually.
Yeah, 100%. No, it makes a lot more sense. It's because of the way YouTube works as well. Like, YouTube, I mean, Brad, obviously, you know this as well, and like, so do I, and Joseph, you as well. Like, I think Twitch is a little bit more harsh with streamers, because it's like, if you have less viewers, you're less recommended, almost. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of buried underneath everybody else until you get a bit more buzz. So
and also because everyone is streaming, it kind of makes your stream less important.
Yeah, that's it. With YouTube, it's kind of like that nice mix.
Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah.
Would you say that you take YouTube seriously, or do you just see it as more of a hobby or a way to relax?
When I first started, it was a serious thing because I saw the opportunity to it. But at the same time, I was making it a hobby because I personally know that it's very hard to make this into a dream job. So it's more of a hobby, but I was taking it serious. Now it's just, you know, something I do on the side, especially since I got to that threshold of being able to being monetized and all that. I can start earning moolah from it now. And I've taken it a little bit more seriously, but again, with the whole life situation and all that, it's more of a hobby right now. So
I understand. I think it's one of those things where it's like it's kind of weird for YouTube because it's almost like if you take it too serious, you can become almost like punished for it, in a sense where it's like people don't look at you so much as a content career, but more as if you're in it only maybe for like a financial gain or something, when that's not what any of us are in it for. We're in it to have fun, but I think it's like you also don't want to take it too lightly, because if you don't like look at it to some degree almost like it's like a serious thing, of course,
a healthy balance is kind of what you need.
A healthy balance. I think that's exactly it. And I think that's a hard thing to kind of master, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like none of us can. You can never really find like that kind of perfect place. It's like sometimes some weeks you'll be like it's a little bit more fun. Some weeks it'll be a little bit more businessy. Like, it's kind of weird to really find
you'll
that
have weeks
balance.
where it's like I need to do something that everyone's going to want to watch. It needs to do well, and then you have weeks where it's like I want to have fun with it. I want to do something chill.
I just want to chill. And
then you get demotivated because it does horribly, and then YouTube's like, you fucked up, you know.
And then you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna go back here, and it's such a weird mindset to be in. But that's the thing about YouTube. It's an interesting dynamic where you can't really ever master it per se, but you can kind of work
slogan:
with it.
YouTube failure is half the fun.
Yeah, failure is half the fun. But I think that's what it makes it interesting. I think it makes it interesting. So going on from there, my question, Brad, would be, you've been on YouTube for almost 3 years now, which you just mentioned, by the way, and once again, congratulations when it comes around, because that's obviously a big milestone on its own. But you've been on YouTube for almost 3 years now, which, as many content creators know, and most likely yourself know, it's hard to stay motivated to keep going for that amount of time. What would be your top 3 tips for upcoming smaller content creators to keep themselves motivated to continue?
First thing, have fun with it. Don't do anything you think the viewers want to see. Just do something you want to do. Like if you're a Minecraft player, play Minecraft. If you're an Ark player, play Ark. If you're an Apex player, play Apex. Do what you love to do.
I wonder why you said that. No one plays that game. Damn.
Facts. Just do what you want to do. As well as don't burn yourself out. If you don't have the mental capacity or the what's the word? The motivation to do like an everyday thing, don't do it every day. Do at least one video a week. Do at least one video a week, or stream. It just doesn't matter. And then branch out there and meet new people, because the more people you meet, the more people you collab with, the more fun it's going to be. Like myself and the Joes here. I've known
the Joes.
I've known Catman Joe since pretty much the beginning of my channel. He was like my 20th subscriber.
Yeah, that's mine. Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. And so it's just branch out, meet new people, do what you love, and don't force yourself to do like a daily upload, because that'll burn you out big time.
Daily uploading is exhausting. Like, it's definitely possible, but my god, I think Joe can definitely say this as well. But I've had
at one point, and
I've had days where it's like I'm gonna try and upload daily, but like then it just was like no. There was actually like a few months where I uploaded once every 2 days, And even that was like, it was actually really nice and consistent. It's just I was not happy with the stuff I was putting out, and I think that's what you got to consider. You've got to realize the sacrificial time that you're going to have. You're going to have time missing out on other things. You've got to make sure you're doing the right things, and on top of that, you've got to make sure you're doing stuff that you're happy with, that thing's going to do well, because otherwise you're going to hate doing it, and then it's become even more tedious, and then you're going to hate doing it and lose motivation. So I think
as someone because I've seen myself uploading 3 times a day, because you can upload 3 times a day with the notifications, because you can set up 3 notifications a day on YouTube for anybody who doesn't know. And I've seen myself do 3 uploads a day every day for a week, and that's 21 videos. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot, and it is quite exhausting, because I think there's always that old saying, quality over quantity. You know what I mean? That definitely becomes more of a factor. It's like when you're uploading so much in one day, you're stretching yourself out so far. You're kind of you're gonna have to kind of give up some things. Like for me, I have to write scripts now, because I just can't go I can't go freehand off script, because it messes me up more. I can't do anything proper with it. But I do agree with what Brad said. One of his first tips which was don't listen to the viewers as well, to a degree. Don't listen to what your community tells you to record, because I've experienced that. You ask there's nothing worse. I think everybody can relate to a degree. If you ask your community, what do you want to see? What do you want me to do? And then
they give you something that you don't want to do.
Yeah, or they give you something you don't want to do, but even if you don't want to do it, you do it, and then nobody watches it, and it's like, what? That's a bit it doesn't make any sense. It's such a stupid mindset. You told me to do this, but it's one of those things. It sounds kind of so silly to say almost, but it is the truth. Don't listen to your audience in that sense. It's not that you don't want to, although they are important, and you should take feedback and speak to them.
It's one of those hidden YouTube rules, isn't it? It's like if you're in it, you kind of know the schmuck of it, because it's that sort of thing is something you learn from experience, and people don't understand it until they know it and they've done it. Because it's like, I remember when I was a smaller creator and I had 300 subs, I'll be like, oh, what do you want to see next time? And then they'll be like, oh, play this, that, and whatever, and then I'll do it, and then people won't care, because it's that individual person wants to see it, not everyone.
And it's so hard to really go from there. I think everybody understands it. You can't really, although it's nice to take feedback from people, but in that sense, you really shouldn't always use it exactly, because that can sometimes be shooting yourself in the foot.
That's why I think instead of asking for feedback, I think you should ask for constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism,
yes,
on improvements you can make upon yourself or the channel, or what would you like me to improve upon my audio, perhaps my visuals, editing, etc. I think that's something you want to look for, but not the actual recommendations of what you want to record or do. So it's a good one. It's a good one.
Obviously, we've spoken about the balance between streaming and making videos, Brad. But if you had to pick one, I know they're both absolutely fantastic things to do, but what is your preferred way of making content? Streaming or making videos?
It all depends on the day. My right now, my main thing, I love streaming. That's my favorite thing to do right now. But there are things that I do on my hardcore world that would make more sense on a video, and I'd rather do a video than a stream. But at the end of the day, streaming would be my favorite thing, because you get to interact with your audience and all that, and you get to meet the newbies coming in when you're streaming. And you just build up that
one thing I'll give to streaming over videos, because I hugely prefer making videos, but one thing I'll give to streaming is when a new person comes to your stream and you can interact with them personally, they are more obliged to stay, and I think it's nice to make that bond with people, because then that you get to those people get to see that you're a genuine person, instead of haha, beep boop, I make videos, So
I've also caught myself coming across some channels that all they do is stream, and it's like a replay of one of their streams, and I find myself going back and trying to see when they stream so I can go visit them and check out their stream. So
I think it's one of those things where it's streaming is a great way to interact with your community. It's a great way to build a lot more connections and closer bonds, because it's it is one-to-one. I think all of us know this. It's a very great kind of one-to-one convo. That's always been my goal with it. I think I used to tell Joseph this back in the past. I think if I ever felt like my community and I were never really close, it was just people were just watching my video is not for me, I would start streaming more. And I think having a healthy balance is always a nice thing of streaming and content, depending of course on the platform in which you carry yourself on. So going on from there, though, this is something that's kind of new to the podcast. And there we go, yeah. So this is a new part of the podcast we want to start doing with content creators like yourself, Brad, obviously, called the Forgotten 7, where we ask our guests 7 actual, a little bit more personal questions to get to know them a little bit better and help paint a more clear picture of who they are as a person behind more than just the content. So what I'll do is I'll ask you 7 questions, and you give us the most genuine answers you can, all right? Does that sound all right?
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome, right. And they're not hardcore questions, don't worry. I'm not going to ask you like some really deep stuff, but like it's stuff that I think is kind of funny, but also brings a little bit more character to who you are. What does your typical content creating outfit look like? Like, what do you wear when you're making videos or stream? Behind the scenes.
Sweater, sweatpants, pajama bottoms, because it's usually in the mornings if I'm off or not.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoons I go out and like hang out with friends or go do whatever I need to do. So it's usually a sweatshirt, pajama bottoms, or like a regular shirt and shorts.
I really enjoy this question though, because people don't ever think about it.
No.
Think it's all professional in a suit and tie and all that.
I mean, I try.
But like, no, I think everybody, like, content creator wise, like, especially if you don't have a face cam. If you don't have a face cam, it can be a little bit more different. Like, I'll kind of make myself look good, obviously, for the face cams, but like, it's like if you don't have it on, like, see, from recording content, yes, it's nothing more better when you're just chilling in all your comfy clothes, like all the baggy, nice, comfy stuff.
Like, I've never had that feeling. Like, I know it's. I think it's just because I'm very like hard on myself. But I'm like very like dressed to impress kind of person, so like even if no one can see me, I'm sitting here in a shirt and stuff. I'm like my glasses on and everything, so it's like
I kind of get that. Like when I'm doing streams, a lot of people go, "Oh, this is weird," but this is the truth. When I'm doing streams, I'm always wearing shoes. I always like for 6 or 7, 8, 12 hours. Yeah, no, you see, that's what I'm saying. But I always wear my shoes. I've always got shoes on in my streams. You can always, if someone says to me during the stream,
Crocs on.
Joe, that's Catman Crocs, exactly. You know what I'm saying, and sandals. You know, but if someone says to me during the stream, "Hey Joe, can you prove it?" I would prove it. You know what I'm saying? I'm always wearing shoes. I feel like that's like it kind of is like I feel more like together, like more here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I like it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always wearing shoes and normally just baggy pair of comfy trackies and maybe a nice like comfy t-shirt, depending on obviously like what I'm trying to throw off. Unless I'm wearing like my flamingo shirt or whatever. But like if it's just recording content, I'll normally have shoes on, baggy trackies, and like a comfy t-shirt as well. So it's kind of like that's a normal outfit for me at least. But going on to the next question, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
In life or in YouTube?
Just life in general, anything, yeah.
Stay humble.
So that's a good piece of advice.
Don't like if something good happens to you or something like that, don't take it in the head. Don't get a big head.
Yeah.
Just stay humble, be the best person that you can, and be the nicest person ever. So
that's nice. It's nice advice. I think that's very nice, honestly. What is your absolute dream job?
Ooh, I would
stripper. No, okay, I'm playing.
Once again, Joe, you've erased your own answer from the script.
There it is.
Sorry. Yeah.
Something that'll let me have a lot of time when I do end up having a family in the future. Something that doesn't take a lot of time away from family. Personally, whatever comes my way that fits in it, I haven't really thought about my dream job. But anything that allows me to spend a lot of time with my family would be the best thing.
That's way too wholesome.
Was that that's way too awesome? But is that more like maybe like working from home then, like being like near home, working with the family?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you got to have that time away from the family.
Well, yeah, for the breath area. Yeah,
I've kind of always gathered that from you though, that you're a bit of a family man. So
no, he is. Yeah, I think Brad, you definitely are 100%.
Big family man. So I've actually explained that in on my channel before. I've taken a break before because I was like, I've noticed myself not hanging out with my family, hanging out with my friends and all that, and I've just been like getting in this mood and like not depression, but just in this mood of not wanting to do anything. Just anything that'll like allow me to spend more time than anything with my family, because I don't want to be like up at 6 a.m., go to work, get off at 6 p.m., and then eat dinner and go to bed.
Story of my life after editing the podcast.
I want to be able to spend time with my kids, my wife, so on and so forth. So
it's a lovely answer. Genuinely, that's a really lovely answer. I can't lie. That's a beautiful answer. Are you a morning person or a night person?
Yes, I am a definite morning person.
You are weird.
Right now, I'm normal. That's what.
Yeah, that's what is normal. Exactly. I was going to say that.
I am definitely a morning person. Right now, I've been sleeping in later because I'm still on a schedule where
like a real man.
At work, they'll tell me, hey, we need you to work overnight. And I'll have to go work overnight for a couple days. And right now, like this past weekend, that's how it was. And it's been like 3 days, and I'm still in that mentality of staying up later than usual.
Yeah.
And it's just got me kind of messed up.
So
I've been sleeping in a little bit later. I usually get up at about 5:36 in the morning. I've been getting up at like 8 a.m. I'm like, oh man. God.
He's making me look honestly, I'm looking shameful. I'm beginning up at like 2, you know what I'm saying? And the afternoon.
I literally got up at 2, sat in bed till 4 today. So.
Oh man, Brad's looking with shame. This one's a little bit more mad, but like, if you wouldn't mind sharing, I'll be intrigued. I'm intrigued, right? I'll share mine as well if you do it, right? What is the strangest habit you have?
Ooh, I have to think of this one. Share yours while I think about it, because I can't think about it.
I've already shared mine a few times on the stream. I'm smart right now, honestly. Yeah.
He kidnaps people.
That's no. But no, what mine is I'm told people is I watch ASMR. I'm a very big fan of ASMR. No. Everybody judges, alright, it's fine. And yes, I do watch all the mad ASMR, like the head massages and all this and that, and all that mad shit. The ASMR, Cosmic Barber and all this and that. I watch that to chill because it's funny as hell, but it's also like it's kind of relaxing, right? That's one of mine. That's like genuinely. That's I know it's like I'm getting judged heavily by the viewers, but that's one of mine. I've actually shared some of them. I've stopped that. No, but I've shared some of the actual, like the funniest ones. Like there's some mad, funny ASMR videos out there. Like I watch them more like just for the funniness. But that's,
did you see the video that Pyrocynical did for ASMR, where he made an actual ASMR channel with another YouTuber, and then just midway through he started playing some loud noises.
Like, oh no, I haven't seen it.
It was great. You should look that up. That's good.
It's funny. I've made some ASMR videos that you love, Joe. And the second one,
they were good.
Screamed in your ear.
Oh yeah, that was painful, but they were all good. I can't lie. Oh, there we go. You're feeling the tingles so that you can feel the end. That just ruined it. God damn. But what is it then, Brad? What's the strangest habit you think?
Ooh,
it's a difficult one.
That is a very difficult one. Holy crap. I guess
genocide.
Oh god. I catch myself like running my fingers like through my hair and my beard a lot.
Really?
I'm glad you said hair and beard.
Face.
Some other man beside him, he's like that. Hello.
Someone else's hand.
Like I've caught myself like running my fingers through my beard a lot, like when I'm like in deep thought or something like that, and like when I'm at work I catch myself rubbing through my hair a lot, like getting out of the way or just messing with it, make sure it's all like good and all that, even though it's a mess.
I kind of get the beard thing. I catch myself with the goat chin every now and then, but
like the Mr Miyagi stuff, just
your two pubes on your chin or what?
I'm gonna come over there to America, man.
That's what
don't need no gun laws.
Just make no beard.
I am the weapon.
Speaking of America, I was telling little Joe here earlier.
You are gonna get pummeled.
When you left us, that I have the most American mug on my desk right now.
Oh, what does it say?
It's a regular coffee mug, but the handle is in the shape of a pistol handle.
Oh my, that's cool.
It's ironic how you're putting a pistol in your mouth.
God, look a bit sus. That's brilliant, Caroline. That's actually brilliant. All right, okay. This next one, I feel like this one kind of goes into what we just asked, but it's kind of like it's similar as well, right? But what is one thing we would never guess about you?
That you would never guess about me?
Never guess. Like something that no one
convicted
would guess.
Criminal.
Convicted.
That'd be an interesting one.
Drug law.
Ooh, this one's also a tough one to think about.
Yeah.
Crap.
He's an arsonist on Tuesdays. That's what we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Guys burning down buildings.
He's
left,
a
right, and
woman.
center. That's.
I knew it.
I swear we're gonna get one guest on sometime that's gonna say that. You know, gonna answer that question with, "I'm a woman," but only on Wednesdays. You know.
They're not even to the question. Just says it randomly.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Forgotten
Here's the
Podcast. I'm a
thing,
woman.
for the internet, for the people that don't know me personally, I'm considered a redneck.
Agreed.
If that's a thing.
Agree. Oh, fuck you, man. Just as like agreed.
I wear my steel toe boots every day to work, pants, a flannel
He's a
during
cowboy.
this time of year. I got a truck. I grew up, working around a farm.
I live in the truck.
No, but let finish.
I like about 8th, 9th, 10th grade, even 11th grade maybe. Our friend owned property on the other side of town, and we raised and sold pigs. We bred, raised, and sold pigs. Yeah, we had chickens, horses, and yeah. I'm a redneck.
That's I never knew that. That's an incredible little bit
the way
to
he
know
says
about
it.
you. That's a really cool thing. Yeah, but that's pretty
redneck.
crazy.
I'm like the redneck at my work. Everybody else is just like regular people. I'm the redneck. I'm the redneck that they'll call if they need something heavy lifted or something like that. Be right there, guys.
Yeah, coming on over. Yo, for the last question of the Forgotten 7, we have this, right? Have you ever had a nickname as a kid or as an adult? And if so, what is it?
It is in the title or my channel name and my
Spud?
Yeah, Spud.
You know what's funny?
Yep.
My nickname from about when I was born to around 12 was Spud.
Really?
Really?
Yes. Yeah, no, I was always... Because my parents aren't together, so they would always refer to me as Spud. And they would always be like, oh, you having Spud around? And that's just been my name for years, and I still get referred to that on random occasions, which is actually quite funny.
It actually, yeah, I've had it for the longest time I can remember. My uncle... we were just hanging out one day. From what my parents told me, we were just hanging out one day, and he just started calling me Spud, and it stuck. And it stuck to this day. Going. And the worst thing about it, which I look back and I'm kind of glad because, but my uncle used to work for the schools. Like he used to be the maintenance guy that would go from school to school, fixing the doors, fixing whatever's broken and all that. And he would walk into the classrooms one day, and if he'd see me, he'd be like, "Hey, what's up, Spud?" And then everybody else would laugh at me. And all that. But I look back on it, I'm like, I love that he did that. I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's kind of mad that we had the same nickname. That is actually kind of cool.
Yeah. A lot of people ask me. A lot of people ask me why I chose my name for YouTube and all that, and I'm just like, well, my childhood nickname has always been Spud. And Spud is a potato, and my favorite game is Minecraft, so I'm looking into Minecraft, and I see a poisonous potato. I go into thesaurus for the synonym for poisonous, and septic came up, so SepticSpud.
It's actually mine's was unwanted. Nobody asked me. That was my nickname. You know what I'm saying, by my parents. I'm playing.
People used to call me Orphan. I don't know what that means.
I'm kidding. Nah, I don't know what that means. I wonder. But I actually, what's mad was Joseph's probably gonna go read it out right now, so we might as well not. But we can. Our next question was, and it's a good question, and I'm glad you answered it. There answers this one. It was actually what is the story behind your nickname? Behind SepticSpud, because every YouTuber has a story behind their name. It's got some sort of representation to them, and that's an amazing way to represent to yourself. Septic in the spot.
Well, I've got less work to do now, so I'm not complaining.
There you go.
No, yeah, that's the one thing. Anytime I have a friend or somebody that is talking to me, and they want to start a YouTube channel or something like that, they're always asking me how to come up with a name, and I just always tell them, go personal. Get something personal in your life and do it. Mine's my favorite game is Minecraft, and my nickname was Spud. So I go in and poisonous potato, SepticSpud. There you go.
This is going to be the one podcast episode that I'm not explaining my origin.
God damn, it's a sin. It's a sin.
It's happened 3 times in a row.
And mine's is Catman Joe, and that's because I love cats. And Man Joe was like a kind of accurate. It was kind of like a beat-off version of Batman, but it's like Catman. It's like, but it was kind of a good way. But wasn't that? I got nicknamed it at school because I got like a scar on my hand from my cat when I was a kid. But it's weird. But it's
Catman
like
Joe and Smoker.
Yes, I'm like this, you know. But like, right, well, going off from there, I'm sorry because Joseph's question was cut short there. But like, so I mean, you answered about it, so well done for that. It was, you know, fucking hindsight there. Obviously, since episode 4 of the Forgotten podcast, you haven't been a host, right? And on the show with us, what's it? So which, like, you know, which we'll speak about in a minute. Obviously, you're gonna get into that and have a chat about, you know, what happened, not actually jazz in a minute. But what did you think of the show since your departure from it?
It's a great show. You guys have done really well with it. I am honestly surprised on how well, because it was like how slow it started with us when we first started it. But you guys have done very well with this channel, this podcast. It's like you guys are just about to hit 1K, if not hit 1K already.
Yeah,
like,
by the time this premieres, we might be at 1K actually. So thank you everybody for that.
Yeah.
And if not, you better tell your friends right now.
Yeah. But
tell your friends right now, subscribe.
But that is it. It is mad, genuinely, because it's like, you know, when we first started this, we all had the idea that we were going to do one every 2 weeks. That was going to be like the episode plan, and then that kind of turned into every month, and it was kind of mad because the whole sketch, because we were just all busy, and things came out. We're going to get into that in a minute though, but it's a factor, like, you know, to see where it is now, 1,000 subs. It's very, I'm very proud of it. You know what I'm saying? I really am. I think all of us can agree. It's an amazing thing to see it get this far, because it was a dream at first, and we're pushing it forward.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. I've gotten like at least like 10 people to subscribe to the podcast. So,
thank you, Johnson.
Leave a comment if you came here from Spud. Big old Spuddy.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. Right. I can speak
Joseph,
now. Fantastic.
Joseph always takes a minute. He always takes a minute.
Yeah, no, because like you do this thing in your conversations where like you'll pause and then go, and I think that's really cool because, but then sometimes you just don't do anything and I'm just there like with a knife to my throat. Anyway, moving on. Question number 17. Who are some of the best content creators you have met through doing YouTube and become friends with, or became friends with? There we are.
Ooh,
English.
Catman Joe, of course. Right here. I can't leave out Curious Hippo. Curious Hippo, of course. I've met a few. This one content creator that I am like really good friends with. We actually met up back in February. His name's Agent CPU Zero. Zero Studios. Me and him collab a lot. We talk a lot. He's a really cool guy. Me and him are about the same in sub count. So it's really cool. I met this one content creator. His name is Dicey's. He's a Bedrock player. He's a Bedrock like Bed Wars player and all that. He's at I think like 70,000 right now. I met him in Texas when we did when I went to the Minecraft thing. I've met multiple other smaller content creators. Z-Bruce, he's a cool dude.
Of course,
Z-Bruce is a G. G-Bruce.
I haven't physically talked to or met Pat Tar HD, but we have like talked on Twitter before.
Didn't you meet up with some people IRL?
Oh yeah,
like Dicey's, Agent CPU Zero. That was back in Texas when Mine Fair was going on over there.
That was right.
I love cowboys.
It's cool. No, but it's cool as hell. Like, you know, to actually meet up and like actually get to hang out with the peeps. You know what I'm saying? In person. Sorry. And I mean that alone, it's pretty incredible. You know what I'm saying? It's an awesome like little opportunity in itself. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty actually awesome. Yeah. But I think with YouTube, that's a good thing about it. If you do it, you know, obviously you've almost been doing it for 3 years now, and it's one of those things with the amount of time you do YouTube, the longer that you do it, the more people you meet, and that's the main thing. You want to try and meet new people. You know, like that's definitely something that's important, and it's nice when you do. You know what I'm saying? Because you can make some really great connections, of course, and it's a lovely thing on its own. Yeah. One of the biggest things we wanted to talk to you about today, obviously, Brad, was how you left the podcast originally and what really happened behind the scenes. For anyone who doesn't already know, as I mentioned at the beginning, SepticSpud was the original actual third co-host until episode 4 of the podcast, but we had a falling out and went our separate ways for a little while. I guess we should bring up the discussion, not so much a question, but a discussion as how it all unfolded originally, because since your departure from the show, we haven't actually mentioned what happened publicly. We kind of just waited for like this episode. So I guess where do we begin with this? I mean, I think like Well, what happened? Obviously, we had a bit of a falling out. Just to clarify, I feel because we haven't really had a minute to really explain this. When we actually did fall out, it was like for a day or two. But like we actually, I remember I was on Rocket League and you jumped the party with me and Joseph, and we all ended up chatting about what was going to happen and like the transition and all that kind of jazz. But it was we all kind of went on separate terms a little bit. Like we left on good terms though. You know what I mean? Like I remember like you were like, I would love to come on for an episode as a guest in the future. You know, stuff like that. But I mean, originally what happened from my mind. Again, both you can jump in here, of course. Was it was back in the day? Like we got it started, and we had all these great ambitions for like every podcast every 2 weeks. We got Sarah, obviously. Is it Swansea's? Swans, yeah. Swans, or Sarah, obviously, the artist, to do the artwork for the podcast, which you guys should be looking at right now. That the original artwork that we used, that was done by her. We got her to do that, and we got the channel art done by her, stuff like that, etc. So she done all our channel arts, Joseph's, mine, yours, obviously, Brad, and then we got her to do the podcast, which was cool. And I think the main issue kind of arose with the actual way even before the podcast really started, which was with the artwork, because I felt like there was a big kind of, we kind of all weren't really on the same page. Like we ended up becoming a bit more chill with it, but we weren't all really on that same page, you know.
It was kind of a strange disagreement.
Yeah,
might I say?
Yeah, it was. I claim a lot of that blame due to miscommunication, and as well as Sarah and I had gotten a strong relationship with each other before even the podcast had started.
Friendship wise, yeah,
friendship wise. And then I'm not even gonna lie, I developed like feelings for her.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot of the issues. You know, the kids' feelings. Boy likes a girl and
simp.
like simp.
No, but
actually, the definition of simp is me. I am the definition of
septic simp.
Not
that was side channel.
Yeah.
Side channel. But no, I feel that is one thing, because again, we all got originally the way it worked is, for anybody curious, I met Sarah via Z. Because how did you meet Z? Because I never got this. Did you meet Z individually or via me? Because
through you.
Yeah, because Z came to my channel one day. Z's another content creator. We've had him on the podcast, episode 6 I believe it was, so go check that out. Z's a great guy, lovely guy. Everyone here can agree. He's one of those, he's got a really lovely attitude. He's a really nice, kind person, generally speaking, and he's an amazing person, genuinely. But Z had originally donated to me. He came on my streams, donated, we became chill, we became somewhat friends, and he was like 700 subs at the time, or maybe less, and we supported him and whatnot. And then you met him and you done, what was it, is it Lunacraft, was it?
Yeah, so I met him through you. It was through the streams, and he messaged me one day, and he was like, "Hey, you want to collab?" And I was like, "Sure." And so we did a Bed Wars stream collab, and then he got me into an SMP called Lunacraft, which he started up, which I met a few great people on that as well, and that's where also we met Sarah.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say, because Sarah, what I got told was Z had found Sarah as an artist, contacted her and asked her to make him some channel artwork, which, if anybody doesn't know, Z's channel artwork, Z Bruce's channel artwork that he uses now is inspired and based off of my original stuff, and that's how I met Sarah. It's a weird kind of combination, but...
this is kicking me in the head now, I remember now. And this is where Sarah felt bad because...
Well, we'll get that. So yeah, what had happened was, I was the one who found Z, but Z had already found Sarah, right? And he made Sarah a deal to say, listen, if you make me new channel work for free or something like that, I think it was for free, I'll let you join, because Minecraft, this is when it was starting to get very popular again. He said, if you make me for free though, I'll let you join my actual SMP, which was Lunacraft, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Brad, you met him through me, so you went on Lunacraft with obviously Z, but obviously of course got to meet Sarah, and then I didn't know that at the time, but you already knew Sarah and you knew obviously Z, and then Sarah herself she privately had contacted me, and she was a bit upset because of the fact that she felt she had plagiarized my work, which I could understand. She used mine as a backbone inspiration. Z had gave her my artwork and said, hey, can you use this to take inspiration from this and make mine like his or similar, which I had no issue with. Z's a friend, I had no issue with it. It's artwork, it is what it is. I don't mind people taking inspiration from it. It's how it goes. But she, kindly enough, she came up and she messaged me and she said, hey, I took that, I do apologize, and would you mind if I make you some for free or something like that to try and return the favor? And that's how she made my channel artwork, sorry, the stuff that I use, which has got my lumberjack shirt and whatnot. That was her who made that. She made that in one solid night. We sat and spoke all night, and she done that. Anyway though, time goes on, and at this point you didn't have channel artwork by her, but you knew her and all that kind of jazz, which was pretty cool. And then I think Joseph was next. Joseph got channel artwork made by her, and then you did as well, because you were way back in the day. I remember you used to use like the Flash from remember, was it Flash? Remember from The Incredibles? You used to use that as channel art. But then after that you got the Minecraft stuff. That was we had the Minecraft character, and then we were like, oh wait, we should all like modernize. And we thought, if we get Sarah to do it because she's the same artist, it would make a lot more sense, because at this point we were all planning out the podcast. So I had my artwork already done, then Joseph got his done, then Brad, you got yours done. And even when you got yours done, you didn't tell us how it was going to be or anything like that back then, but that was like one of the things. But then we all got our work done, and we all had the same artist who done ours, and we thought, hey, we're doing this podcast, why don't we get her to try and like make some artwork for that, or make some animation for it, and give her her due. She did, but that's kind of where the first issue arose, because once Sarah made the artwork or the animation while she was in the midst of making it, I was the one who's kind of like in charge of like kind of giving the inspiration for what I wanted for the animation. Like the animation you were seeing, I was the one who kind of, in a sense, wanted to like that. And like I wanted all our characters sitting around the table. My inspiration initially was Adventure Time, Another Brick in the Wall, or Brick in the Wall, which was it's an Adventure Time episode where basically Jake's a brick in the wall. It's a weird concept.
And he basically makes a podcast of it.
In a nutshell, Finn and like one of the other people in Adventure Time go into like the radio place and make a podcast kind of thing. It's like they're on the radio, but like the whole look of like the one of the angles from one of the shots from the actual cartoon, I loved the look of the table and them all sitting around it, and I thought we should do it after the podcast. So I sent Sarah all the ideas, and also it was based off Baited Podcast, so another great podcast and stuff like that. But Sarah didn't like it because she felt as if she was kind of taking their stuff and kind of basically just remaking it to make it like mine, which to some degree she was right, she was. And I believe like at this point, like that was kind of me and Joseph were on the same page. We were like, hey, listen, we're paying for the artwork or paying for the animation. We should be to get it done any way we want. Like respectively, I understand her point, and I did understand her point. It's like she doesn't want to be taking someone else's stuff, but at the same time, it's like you've got to have some. It's okay to have inspiration, and it's okay to remake something in your own way. That's And the
only thing that we really wanted from that aspect was the table.
Was the table? Yeah. The table. Yeah, we wanted the table and the angle for all of us because it was how we wanted it. But you were with Sarah, obviously, and that was kind of, I think, the first kind of divide, because you were getting closer with Sarah. You were talking to her like all the time. I believe at this point you guys were like really good friends, and then me and Joseph were kind of on the other side, like, oh damn, what's going on? Because we're like, well, Brad should be with us because it's our podcast, all three of us, and that's kind of the first issue. But we got past it. We got the animation done. It was kind of it was close. So like I recall like one time we were all like very close to like all of us not being able to get it to happen, because it was like Sarah wasn't going to do it. Brad, you were kind of like still like you were on our side, but you were still on hers, so it was kind of like a iffy. But we eventually came to the conclusion. We got it done. Then from there, what happened was we got the podcast artwork done. We got the animation done. Then we got the artwork done. And like that was kind of no wait, what was it? It was, I think it was was it the animation, because you paid for the animation, did you not?
It was the animation, and then we got the artwork.
Yeah, so what had happened originally with that was like another thing was Brad had paid for the animation, but he hadn't paid yet. But it wasn't a big deal because him and Sarah were friends. And Sarah knew he'd pay her, obviously, but he hadn't paid her yet, so that's why she was holding back from doing the artwork for a few weeks. So I ended up paying, or the animation, and then you
we
paid
didn't
me back,
know.
obviously. Yeah, and it was just a lot. It was again miscommunication. That's all it was. It was like it was just all of us weren't really speaking enough.
I just remember it being quite funny though now looking back on it, because I just remember Joe messaging me like, yo, well, how fucking long is this taking? And then I just remember getting a text being like, oh, she's not doing it. I'm like, oh, well, that explains why it's not here yet.
Yeah, but we eventually got it done, and then I think from there, like, we were quite okay. Like, from there we got that done, and then I paid for the actual channel artwork. I got that because you done the animation, and then we were good. We started up the podcast and whatnot, but there was still like that was a dent in our like kind of like relationship as all three of us as like a podcast host. We kind of had that kind of division and dent where it was almost like we didn't really things that went a little bit wrong to begin with, and it wasn't a great way to begin. But it was like we were still chill and still civil. We got then I think it was episode 1 and 2 recorded. They were brilliant, but then episode 3 and 4 I feel like we definitely let ourselves down. What was it for? What was 3? 4 was the KSI versus Logan Paul, but 3 what was that?
By far though, I know we've mentioned it before, but the KSI Logan Paul fight is definitely the worst podcast that we've done.
Yeah. I agree.
Wasn't that the one where it was like early in the morning? I was like texting you in mid.
It wasn't even just
like,
that. Like that
go.
that definitely contributed to it. But what the worst thing was that I just didn't care about the subject.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, that was. I think
That too.
we were trying to jump on. We were trying to jump on like topics because if anybody watching, what the case was like I was like oh we should do this, we should do it because that was to me that was my fault. Like I was like okay, KSI and Logan Paul just fought last night and KSI won. Let's speak about it because I believe like I was on KSI's kind of like side almost, and I mean who cares? It's like a boxing match.
Yeah, it's just a boxing match.
Yeah,
Come
but
on,
like you watched and you were a fan of I believe Logan Paul. Like you were like more on his side, so it was kind of interesting to some degree, but it was kind of like kind of rushed because we had to get out that day since like basically that was when it happened, you know what I mean? Like it just happened then, so we had to get the episode out ASAP. So we went, all right, the next day let's go and record this right here right now, and we recorded it. That was episode 3 in fact, but we recorded it and that was in the morning and Brad had work, and Brad even told us before, he said listen guys, I've got work, like I mean I'm gonna have to go, I can't like fuck up my work, you know what I mean? So we that's why the episode's like one of the shortest we've done, because of the fact when we were recording actually about like 35 minutes in, I remember in the tutorial world of Minecraft on my
because what we would do back then before we used proper Share Factory is we'd all sit in this Minecraft world and the rules were obviously turn the sound down, no one move, because otherwise the sounds in Minecraft will be picked up in the podcast. So if you go back to that episode and you go to the further parts of it, you can probably hear water splashing because for some reason Brad decided to drown me.
Brad was just placing water, but like so that was it. And Brad had to leave though at like the last few minutes of the episode. Brad had to actually he had to leave. There was no middle ground. I think you already had a shower and you had to leave, so he had to go to work, and it was just really poor timing. And we got the episode out and I still wasn't very proud of it, but it was out. And then the next one after that was the one about Copa, which was our last one, and the next killer of YouTube. And again, Copa and I mean really to be fair, like the episode 1 was kind of like the one that was just a discussion. Episode 2 was a bit more discussion, but it was also jumping on the hype of Mr Beast and the planting 20,000 trees or 20 million trees. And then obviously, but like the KSI versus Logan Paul and the Copa one, those both, like especially the Copa one as well, they were kind of more just to try and kind of like almost grow off of the hype of what was happening at that point.
I didn't mind the Copa one though, because I felt that was kind of relevant to us. But
well that was it. But I mean, it was just one of those things that was like that was it. But then after all that though, we had 2 episodes that weren't really the top tier that we expected, and that was like we all kind of weren't happy with that. But then it was a factor, like obviously after episode 4, I think episode 5 we had kind of planned out. Like a lot of people don't know this, we had episode 5 planned out, but Brad had a lot of stuff going on. He was working every day, like he had work going on, personal stuff in real life, plus YouTube. So we kind of forgot that because the fact that like I work and do all my YouTube stuff, just that, you know what I mean? But like Brad, you had obviously work and real life stuff, etc. You had a lot more than me, obviously, in that sense. And then Joseph had school and stuff like that, and plus the time zone difference. People have to remember this. That was the biggest kind of pain in the ass. Like for us to all record, it was a bitch sometimes. You know what I mean? Because we all had to.
I feel like that's
really
another thing that we don't take much into account, because like our situations have changed. Obviously, Joe, you do a lot more YouTube stuff now anyway, so you've got a lot more time for it. I go to college now, so I don't go to school anymore. So it's not 5 days a week; it's 2. It's just a lot more flexible now, and I think it's going to be quite cool to have
still over
availability.
here, the busiest man in the world.
exactly. But like that was the thing though. But because Brad was busy though, I started getting a bit like agitated about it because we waited like a month or 2. But in all fairness, I wasn't pushing Brad every day saying, "Hey, do you want to do it today? Do you want it?" It was kind of like I was leaving it for him to message me, which kind of was maybe not the best idea because it was like
because I was waiting for you guys to message me.
And it's like again that whole kind of concept of lack of communication. None of us were on the same page, and at this point we weren't even writing scripts for the podcast. We were legitimately going in there. We're like, okay, let's talk about Copa. That was it, and then we would just go all in and all of it, just talk about Copa for like 45 minutes, and it wasn't anywhere near structured or good or felt right. It felt kind of rushed and unproductive. And that's like the difference between those episodes and the new ones now, obviously including this. That was what happened, and then eventually though I got sick and tired of having to wait, and I ended up losing it. Brad, you were actually at the Mine Fair, I think it was it Mine Fair?
Yeah, I was in Texas in Mine Fair. I was in
like the worst time.
It was in the you were calling me when in the middle of Mine Fair, and everybody was loud and all that, and I was like, I remember answering your call, and like I could barely hear you, and I said, hey, I'm busy, I'll call you back, and I hung up, and you didn't hear me say that, and you got mad.
I thought it was like you hung up on me. Because Brad was at this Mine Fair place and he was dealing with all that, but I was trying to get in touch with Joseph because we were trying to do like arrange the next episode because we were getting impatient. But me and Joseph were speaking to ourselves, each other about it, but we weren't really telling Brad, hey, can we record it then and then, so it was our fault as well. So anyway, we ended up calling him, or I called him on Facebook, and then Brad answered, said, hey, I've got to go, like, based I'm busy, but I couldn't hear that at all, and then he hung up on me, and I took that as, like, out by, like, hung up, you know what I mean? So I took it the wrong way, and I was annoyed.
It was super loud in that area. It was like a bunch of kids yelling and screaming. and so I couldn't hear anything you were saying. That's why I was like, hey bud, I'm really busy right now. I can't hear you. I'll call you back. But apparently you didn't hear me, so that's
that was
another issue.
And then you got the infamous Joe 8 voice messages.
Oh yeah, fucking voice messages galore.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here blood boiling, sending voice messages. I'm like, oh fuck you, blah, 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 kicking off.
It's funny. So remember this. I know it sounds dumb, but you know when like you're doing something when something else happens and you get a connotation of the thing you were doing when you think of the other thing. I was playing Borderlands 3, so whenever I think of Borderlands 3, I think of this argument.
Oh my god. But yeah, like I basically, in a nutshell, I went off at Brad, and Brad wasn't even there because he was like, he's dealing stuff at Mindfair, obviously he's doing stuff like that, like meeting people and chilling and signing stuff, and it's cool as hell, but he's doing that. But I went off obviously on our private Facebook thing, and then I think I was being a dick in general, and then I went from that to I think after that I went live on Twitch later on that day, but before that you'd been like, alright, well cool, like I'll leave, but you know, you guys can't use animation since I paid for it or something, and it like that set me off even more, and then you left, and then it kind of went from there, and then that was kind of like where we all kind of like, we're like, oh, the tensions were really high. I went live on Twitch, and I think you were in the stream when I was talking about you.
The Battle Royale.
Yeah, but I went live on Twitch, and regrettably I started like spitting like fucking I was so pissed because I was like still blood boiling, and I started going off, and Brad was there, and then Brad got the blunt end of it, of course, and that was kind of, it was just again the heat of the moment, but it was still very immature. Like I'm not great with my temper, like I'm chill, but like it's, if I lose it, I lose it, and I don't lose it well. Like Joseph knows this well personally firsthand and whatnot. Like I'm
traumatized, honestly. You want to see all the scars I've got? Like fuck.
That's what it is. But like, so yeah, anyway, I lost my temper, but after it, inevitably we ended up speaking later on about it, like I don't know if it was a couple of days, but we left it, we ended up speaking about it though eventually. We all got into a call, and then we all got into a PlayStation party after it, like a while after, a couple of days.
Yeah, it was the day that I got back from
that was it. Yeah, because you were like,
I went into my backyard and I was talking to you on the phone for like a good 30 minutes about it, talking to you guys.
Yeah, and that's where we kind of like all came to the thing, like, all right, Brad, you're gonna leave the podcast, we're gonna go our separate ways so we can work on more episodes and be more productive. And then obviously, you know, because you like, and I did say then, you know, you are busy. Like I've got to remember that, understand it as well. Like the fact that Brad was busy, it isn't like it's a genuine personal thing. Alright everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the Forgotten Podcast, episode 14, featuring our guest SepticSpud, obviously. Guys, sorry about that, the actual recording cut off there, so I do apologise. We're just going to continue from where we left off real quick with part 2. So we inevitably ended up getting a call when Brad got home from Mindfair. That was what it was. He got home from Mindfair, we ended up getting a call, and that's where we all kind of discussed the factor, like, hey, me and Joseph, like we were all like on speaking civil terms, but there was still some tension. But it was like we were chill enough, and we're like, hey, we'll go our separate ways. You know, Brad, you can do your own stuff, work, and do what you got to do, obviously. But we'll continue the podcast and do our own stuff. And that's kind of where we left it, and that was kind of like, you know, it was kind of a weird place to leave it, that was it, but we kind of just went from there. I mean, in all honesty though, it was kind of stupid, because it was the fact, like, even from then till now, we've only, like, it's only now in the past few weeks me and Joseph became very productive with one episode per week, because we really put our head to it and kind of got to work with it.
We really assigned each other with roles, which I think is something we've never really been this organised, but it's really nice to have it. Like, for those of you who don't know, I run the social medias and I edit the podcast. Joe will write scripts, promote, and also, you know, be in the episode. So I think, you know, it's, you know, a nice 50-50 split, and I think it works really well because I've got a lot more experience in editing, and Joe's obviously got the audience to help out. So it definitely is a nice mixture of chemistry as well.
Yeah. And I think that's what we missed back in the old days with all of us. None of us had roles. We kind of just we're all like, oh,
here you
let's
go,
jump
Joe.
a party.
Take
like,
it.
That's it. Yeah, and it's like that was no good for all of us. Yeah, I mean, none of us, we didn't have specific things we had to do, so we were just kind of wandering aimlessly. And then, you know, Brad, you were inevitably kind of getting the blunt end of it, because you were like, it was with Sarah and whatnot, kind of jazz. We still had like that kind of bad blood a little bit from that, so it kind of was like you were like the one who was getting the end of it, which wasn't fair. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. But inevitably we went our separate ways. But we went on a mutual kind of thing where we were chill, and it was like the concept of like getting you back on the show. You even said that you're like, no, I'd like to come back on as a guest. You know, you did say that back in the day, which was awesome. So that was it. And we went from there, and that's how everything went down. And a lot of people didn't know that. It was like the fact of, you know, that's why we didn't want to speak about it, because it's a big thing. But it was, you know, it sucked, and I regret it. I mean, I do, and I'm sorry for what I said and what I've said already, of course, in the past. But I am sorry about it, and I know, you know, like, obviously, you know, we're chill now, 100%. There's no, you know, hard feelings. It was what it was.
No hard feelings at all.
Yeah, exactly. One under the bridge. But it's like it was just one of those stupid kind of things that you kind of live and learn from. And it was like,
it
was just
feelings.
How friends always have their spats.
But then they come back, and that's what's important. But yeah, it was a big discussion for that one. But we just want to kind of get that out there and open and kind of clarify it.
It's also kind of cool to talk about. Also, not only just to clear water and all that other societal emotional crap, other than that, it is cool because the thing about the podcast I absolutely love is it's like noting down history within our community. This is like the Colosseum and what was it called? A fucking museum. There we are.
It's that.
It's a big marble building. Go on,
Joe. You know what else is in history?
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Boston
No.
Tea Party.
Honestly, I know so many. I see. If you're watching this, you did this. This is your culture. Stop. Fucking any more Americans, right, that come up to me and go like, Joe, why did you throw the tea off the boat in the Boston Tea Party? I wasn't fucking alive, was I, you spanner?
God damn.
Fuck you. I'm gonna sip my tea now. Actually, fuck you. Look at this. It's not alcohol.
I've got none. I'm being envied you.
Mine's incredibly cold, but I'll take it anyway.
Oh man.
Right. To move on swiftly, because I'm enough of your bullshit.
I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
Going back now to the last few questions we have for you. What is your most beloved moment of YouTube? For instance, what was the best moment you've ever had on your channel?
Ooh, there's a lot. But I'd say probably when I hit 1K, because it was also Joe over here that passed me up, or like helped me get to that level, because he was doing a stream. He had 30 or 40 viewers in there, and I was about 20 viewers or 20 subs away from 1,000. I hopped in the stream, and he just like freaking spammed my channel into his chat, went like and got me over 1,000. So I'm very grateful for that. That was great.
I know what Joe's gonna say next, so I'll let him.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Right, no. This is just about the next question I'm laughing about. It's
okay. I was gonna say.
When we get to it, we'll get to it, and I think Brad will know, because when you were gone, we had a bit of a talk about a word you've put there in the script, but nonetheless.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, I was going to say that I thought Joseph was going to bring up the fact, because it's actually weird, because I got Joseph and Brad to 1K.
I was going to mention
streams,
that as well. Yeah,
live, both of them came live on streams. I got them to 1K because it's important. It's a big milestone, and you never forget it. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I recall with Joseph, I was doing battle, and I was like, oh fuck it, let's get him to 1K. And with Brad, I was working on my Survival Island world, my older one, and I was working with my buddy Xavier, and we were on our island working. And Brad, you came in, and I was like, yo, he is so close. Like, we got to get him there. And then you donated, and we just pushed ahead and just got you to 1K. But it's mad moments.
I just thought about another one. My most favorite time on being on YouTube and like everything. You remember just recently me hopping into your stream and me telling you about this small like YouTuber, dad and his son.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was
one of my most favorite things.
That was lovely. No, seriously, that was amazing.
Joe was here doing a stream, and I have a buddy that I met at Mine Fair. Him and his little son, maybe 5-6 years old, they stream on YouTube, and they were so close to 100. They're maybe 10-15 subs away from 100. And I hopped into Joe's stream. I was like, hey, they're streaming right now. You got to go check it out and like try to get them to 100 if we can. And he went on there, and we checked him out, and we got them. We got them.
Yeah, we both pushed the guy to 100 at the guy and his kid, and it was really nice. I genuinely was like such a heartfelt kind of moment. I think heartfelt being the right word, because it was like the guy like he was a genuine dad, and he had his kid, and the guy was almost like, you could tell he was like upset in a good way about it. Like, I mean, like being a bit emotional.
Almost in tears.
Yeah, and like the kid was so happy, and it was like we done that, and it's like us. I wish YouTube had raids like what Twitch does. You know what I mean, Brad? Like, because you've always
you can host people.
Yeah, or like you could host people. I wish YouTube had that, because that'd be such a lovely thing. Honestly, that's one thing I love about Twitch, and that's a good memory right on YouTube. I should have forgot about that till right now, but like, that's a good one. That was amazing. Again, it made the guy's day, and I remember him thanking us personally. He was like, "Yo, thank you."
I remember one of my favourite moments was not only hitting 1,000 but hitting 100. I remember sitting playing like Doom Forge, like where you'd make maps on Doom. And I remember Joe just being like, yo, you hit 100 subs, and I'm like, fuck off. Like me as a little fucking 12-year-old British kid, what are you on? And then I checked my chat, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. And then I went to bed, and I went to school the next day and went, boys, I'm famous. So,
100 subs, I'm killing it.
I'm kidding. Right. Question number 20. Bradley.
Hey.
You say anything about the word usage? This is a bit of a mad question, but would you ever want to be a host on the Forgotten podcast again? Almost pick up where you left off. For you, Joe, he was taking the piss because I used the word mad a lot.
So there you go. There you go. I didn't even know that.
He was slating me for like 20 minutes about it. So
I was like, yeah, us Americans don't say mad. There's a difference between British English and American English and Scottish English and all that.
It's mad though, isn't it?
It's mad, huh?
That's so unnatural. Don't ever do that again.
Okay, so what was the question?
Gotta say again.
Tell you what it was. It's mad. This is a bit of a mad question, but would you ever want to? Motherfucker. Would you ever want to be? Shut the fuck up.
Want me to read it? You got it?
I've got it. It's just Brian.
Okay,
shut up.
Sure?
Yes, I'm not that dyslexic. Right.
Oh god.
No, fuck.
You done?
Tears.
Oh, you can.
No.
Go ahead, Joseph. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, no. You got to just get with it.
Go.
Right.
Go.
Would you ever want
my
to be
God.
a host on the podcast again, and almost pick off where you left off?
Yeah, of course. Always.
Sick,
Yeah.
that's all we needed.
Hey.
I know.
There you go.
I just wanted you to repeat it.
No,
That's good.
That's
Shouldn't
mad.
work mad there. All right, don't worry. I've got the next 2 questions. That's good. We're glad to hear, man. Honestly, bro. Let me see it. Right. Well, okay. This is the next one here, right? Listen, this one's very important. Man. I read this before the tweet from last night. When will we be seeing Exposing Catman Joe Part 2? All right, because I've been waiting. I know it's been in the making for over a year now, with Part 1 releasing back on April 18th, 2019. So will we ever see this bloody fucking masterpiece come out? I need it, Brad. You know what I'm saying? I need it so bad. I've been waiting for it for a year now. I'm waiting so long.
If you guys haven't seen it yet, I just posted on Twitter last night, and then it's on my channel.
I read this the other day.
You could just look it up, Exposing Catman Joe, and it'll be right there. Like the top one.
It's the most popular. It's top one, yeah.
Eventually.
Oh man, I need it so. I swear, honestly, it's mad.
I have the clips saved on my computer. It's just the editing, and I suck. I hate editing. I hate it. But
Can't relate.
I will work on it soon. Christmas 2020, the best thing about 2020. I'm calling it right now, December 25th, 2020, Exposing Catman Joe.
Brad, after you've made that, we should make a trilogy. You see, I think we should make a diss track on Catman Joe. I think that would be.
There you go.
Both of you. We'll put it up on the podcast.
Right.
That's what we'll do. But no, like dead ass. Like honestly, I read that the other day before he tweeted about it last night at me. I swear I read that and I was like, yo, this is brilliant. It's gonna work so well. Oh my god! All right. Well, for the final part of our podcast with you tonight, Brad, we wanted to not just ask you something, but actually announce something publicly to all our viewers, and obviously, yourself, of course, which you already know. Now, yeah, exactly, the little bell. Now, I feel this should be the part of the podcast where I do inform everyone listening / watching that Brad already knows what I'm about to say. He doesn't know all the previous questions. He just knows this one specifically, what I'm about to say, so just letting you all know that in advance. But SepticSpud, or Brad, is officially rejoining the Forgotten podcast as the 3rd podcast host. We had been planning this for quite a little while, to be honest, now, and I think it's about time Brad starts working with us again, at least back on the show, of course. Way back after we fell out, like what I was just saying a few minutes ago, when we did make up out, obviously after that, we did discuss, Septic or Brad obviously coming on the show as a guest, and way back then I already planned for him to be on episode 14, considering it was exactly 10 episodes after his departure from the show, so it felt a little bit more sensible. But yeah, Brad is officially going to be back as a guest, obviously, of course, as an actual host, obviously, for the podcast. Tonight he's a guest, but he's back as a host. So we wanted to kind of announce this, obviously, we're getting Brad back on. Just to clarify as well, with Brad's, obviously work schedule and whatnot, we do understand that. So just to say right here, we all are on the same page, me, Brad, and Joseph, that, if Brad is working, he might not be in some episodes, like he might miss some episodes, and might not be there. I'm sure he'll try, but if he can't and he's got work, we'll continue on and do them and whatnot. But when he's there, you'll see him, and he's going to be a host officially. He will be there, and it'll be awesome to have him back, and I'm very happy to say that.
Woo, yeah!
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's such a great time as well, considering that the podcast has just passed 1K. We're going to be getting a community tab soon enough, hopefully. Well, hopefully it'll be past 1K when everybody's watching this, but we're going to get a community tab, hopefully. All three of us will be working on it and whatnot, making it awesome. We'll be making some fun episodes, because obviously, you know, as everybody knows, we're going to be getting guests on and whatnot. Most likely, like Brad can suggest some friends of his that are got over 1K subs, or even under 1K that he'd love to have on the podcast, and we can get them on eventually.
I have a few guests in mind as well, so Joseph, I think we've got some spicy stuff coming.
It's going to be amazing, trust me, folks, honestly. And with Brad here, we're going to make it even more funny, even more awesome. Again, we originally started the podcast with the kind of dynamic of us three all being together, because it was great. You know, I'm Scottish, but obviously, you know, like I'm Scottish from the UK, of course, and Joseph's English, obviously, and Brad's, you know, an American, and it kind of works really well. And we had
you said American with such disgust.
America.
So obviously, I'm Scottish. Shit about Joe is quite clearly English, and then you've got that fucking American over there.
That American over there.
No.
Well,
I really
that goddamn American
has not been the greatest year for America, so yeah.
But
especially
overall,
with the
man,
elections.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, man, like legit, Brad has come back on as an official host. His channel will be added to the featured channels area. We're going to get all that stuff set up probably once this thing premieres and whatnot, or maybe beforehand, so you guys know in advance. But really, we hope you're all happy with it. You're all, you know, chill with it. You're all excited about it. Let us know that obviously in the live premiere right now if you're happy to go back on. Yeah, flinging bottle. No, but honestly, it's nice. I mean this to all three of us. Like, obviously, it's nice because it's like it's a return to the norm. Like us going back to the way we started. The revenge. You know,
Revenge of the Spud.
The actual. People, nobody can obviously see us right now because obviously it's on the script and everybody watching, you guys don't get to see the scripts, but it actually says, when I titled it, it's the Forgotten Podcast episode 14, and normally if it wasn't a guest who's got over 1,000 subs, I would have the actual title. Like for instance, we had on the fourth Forgotten Podcast, so that was my friend Kiwi Gamer, he was episode 13, my friend Joseph's obviously, but that was what the name of the episode was. It had like brackets and it had obviously the fourth Forgotten Podcast host. For this one, the actual thing is SepticSpud, but it's actually got the reunion. That's the actual name of this episode, like on the script. So the reunion episode 14 with SepticSpud. So yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed today's episode. It's been incredible in my opinion. I think it's been a really lovely and awesome episode, really funny. We had some great times, had some great laughs with this. Hopefully you enjoyed the questions, Brad. If you have any obviously of yourself, like, you know, feel free to ask them or bring them up right now. But yeah, man, any questions you feel like we should ask you or anything like that, or anything at all?
But you guys want to know anything else?
Well, I mean, I've tried. I think that sounds pretty much good right there, man. I feel like this is the moment though where you get to promote yourself. Obviously you're back on as a host now, but this is your episode as a guest, and this is an interview with you. Obviously, of course, as opposed to just being a host. So, you know, obviously, I want to ask: is there anything you want to promote? You want to just promote your channel? You know, I mean, obviously, like, you know, are you coming back soon?
My channel? Do you want to promote the podcast channel again? Do you want
make sure to subscribe to the channel, guys, to the podcast channel, as well as, not to self-promote or anything, but I'm at 1485 subscribers. We're about to hit 1500, so hey.
Get that done. Go check out the man.
Go check out Brad's. Let's get him to 1,500. Sorry, let's get him there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be pretty cool because it's quite an amazing feeling. Like, I've never had a second channel of mine ever get to 1K subs, along with a main channel. So having my main channel get to that, and now all of us are gonna have this once the podcast reaches 1K, which might be right now again. Then all of us are gonna have this as our, like, this is all because all of us own the channel. Obviously, like, you know, this is going to be like all of us. We have a second channel that's got 1K subs, which is impressive as fuck. So yeah, thank you all for 1K. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all of you for watching the episodes. If you guys want to check out some old, I guess, nostalgic episodes, go check out episode 1 to 4. You'll see the nostalgia in them, and it's nice to be back with us.
And also compare the difference, like the structure, everything. I think you'll be able to see the development. Different. And we're not going to ever get rid of those like episodes because we want to know where we've come from, and I think no one should ever forget their roots. I think it's a very cool thing to have.
I think as well you can gradually see, all of us can notice that there's a great, you know, like there's a great amount of progress, like between like all episodes. Like, it always gets better and better, audio wise, question wise, etc.
Even personality.
The scripts. Yeah, even listen, like, this one felt a lot more chilled, natural, and we all knew kind of like we didn't have to stress. We all have what we're going to say here. Like, Brad's obviously going to ask questions and whatnot, but it's chill because we're getting genuine answers, and Brad's enjoying himself, and it's nice. It was a nice episode, a really lovely one.
Really great episode.
Great ones. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, I'll finish off here and sign us all out. Thank you so much for watching episode 14 of the Forgotten Podcast. I am your host, of course, Catman Joe, joined by my other co-host, of course, Curious123, obviously the man himself, and of course now SepticSpud or Bradley. Please be sure to go check out all of our channels down below below in the description, and subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers if we aren't already there, or help us reach 2,000, because that's probably going to be our next goal, to be honest. We should hopefully be doing like something special for 1K sometime soon, like maybe a stream or something like that to celebrate hitting 1K. We might, all three of us, if we have some time, do like a little 1 hour long stream on some Minecraft or something like that, and on the podcast channel, which I think would be lovely. But we'll see what happens, folks. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the love and support recently. It means honestly the hell of a lot to all of us. We'll see you on the next podcast episode. Have a fantastic dinner wherever y'all are, and everybody, peace out.
Adios.
Hey.
Pretty spicy, now we've got a fucking stream.
Okay, we're good. Okay, you all ready? You all good? Okay, we're all patiently meditate a little bit. We're all good. Right. Okay, here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another new episode of the Forgotten Podcast. Today I'm your intro host, Catman Joe, joined by the other co-host, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Curious Hippo 123.
Greetings.
Greetings indeed. For episode 14, we are joined or reunited as well with a longtime friend and a man for this fucking... My God. Sorry, guys.
A man for this fucking. He is here to do the fucking.
Yeah. No, a fly just went across my TV and it distracted me.
Is that actually what stopped you?
No. I'm just lying because I need an excuse.
Welcome back. Ooh, a fly. Yeah,
no, it just zoomed past him. So, right. Okay. Right. Try. We're almost there though, right? Okay. All right. Let me just double. I'm reading this in my head here real quick. Hold on. Okay. I'm just
reading it somewhere else.
What, you know, libraries, you know what I'm saying? That's what they're for. Shut the fuck up, you see? Get out my business. Get out my business. Get out my business. Oh, you're still here. Well, thanks for watching. If you did go to enjoy this episode, please be sure to subscribe and drop us a comment letting us know who you'd like to see in the show next, or let us know what you thought of this episode.
Also, make sure to check out the Forgotten Podcast Highlights channel and all of the other social medias, along with ringing the little bell or ringing me at 077.
Yo, Joseph, no, Joseph, hold on, wait, no, Joseph, no, stop.